Hey, how's it going? So I love films and I love going to the cinema, but I've been so many times now that I think like statistically it was impossible for one of those times not to be a total nightmare. Sometimes it's just something really small, like someone's brought in food that smells really bad, or there's some chick at the back kind of tweaking, or someone's brought in something really noisy like a bag of crisps or an Amazon parcel. I swear to God, sometimes it feels like someone brought in their mail and they were like, let me wait until like a really quiet, important part of the movie to then open it, to unpack it in the middle of the theatre. There have been times, like recently even when I went to see Opus, when I got into the theatre and I sat down in my seats and someone nearby just either they smelled really bad or the food they had smelled really bad. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to sit for 2 hours and deal with this smell. I'll just go on the app and change it. And as awkward as it is to just suddenly change, just get up and walk away from someone, it had to be done. I'm sorry. I want to enjoy the movie too. When I went to see Joker 2 Electric Boogaloo, there was a guy in there drinking a full bottle of wine from what I could see. That's what it looked like anyway. I'm not a wine guy. I'm okay with it. It's not my drink of choice. I prefer like rum or whiskey. But the smell of it was overwhelming. And like, I'm already watching a movie that I'm not super into. It definitely didn't help. But all of those tiny little things, they pale in comparison to when you have a truly dreadful time at the cinema. So today I want to talk a little bit about that. I don't have a ton of cinema horror stories, lots of little things, but there's one in particular where it was so bad for me that I can't even remember what happened in the film. It completely wiped that film from my memory. Completely might be an overstatement. I can remember blips. I can remember a scene or two, but that's about it. So this was back in 2020, during the height of the pandemic, the lost years of humanity. I can't remember the exact circumstances because lockdowns were on and off a lot in the UK from what I can recall, but it was definitely 2020 because I looked it up. It was A Quiet Place Part 2. I like the Quiet Place series. I think it's an interesting universe. As interesting as any other like dystopian alien invasion type thing. The monsters are pretty cool. I like when people can't make sounds. It adds some high stakes. It adds some consequence. If you suddenly go in a room, you're dead now. Good job. So yeah, I was pretty excited to see A Quiet Place Part 2. Even more so because it had Cillian Murphy in it. Sunshine, Peacock, Peaky Blinders, Batman. Even last year, he was in Small Things Like These. He just gives good performances all around. Even when he's in a film that's not that great, he's still great in it. You know what I mean? I was a little bit concerned about going to see A Quiet Place in the cinema because, like I said earlier, cinemas are riddled with small noises, weird smells, things that'll distract you if the film isn't like keeping you focus. And in A Quiet Place, everyone's whispering. People are talking really quiet or sneaking around in the dark. It's stuff that's you really want to be in like your own bed in a dark room so you can just focus on it in silence in your own space. That's the ideal setting, but you know what? Sometimes you can't beat a big screen. It was worth seeing it in the cinema just in case it was like the perfect cinema experience, you know? Like you never know which one it's going to be, and then it turned out to be the worst one that I've ever had that I can recall, so there we go, do. Normally, I like to sit in the middle of the theatre, like slap bang in the middle for the best sound, the best audio. I don't know if that's actually the best place, but that's where I would assume the best place is, so that's where I go. Unfortunately, I went to see A Quiet Place right as it came out, so the theatre was packed. So I wasn't able to get my usual seat in the middle, instead, right at the back. Off to a great start. But you know what? It's just a seat. As long as people aren't being disruptive, making noise, whatever, I can handle it. I'm a big boy. The film is like this big now because it's so far away, I'm at the back. But it's fine. Well, it would have been fine if it weren't for the two guests of honor. From what I can recall, the film starts, everything's going fine, and then these two people come in, and they walk up, yapping away, making noise, and they find their seats, maybe 3 across from me to my left. 2 women, couldn't tell you how old they were, but they were having a great time. So they find their seats, the film cracks on, it's fine. Maybe they were just trying to find their seats, it was dark, understandable. Thing is though, the talking didn't stop there. These 2 ladies start giggling away at this comedy movie. You know, A Quiet Place Part 2, renowned comedy film. They're yapping, they're giggling, they're having a great time while we're all trying to watch this movie called A Quiet Place. This is a film where everyone talks so quietly that at times you're like straining to hear what they're saying. Come to think of it, there should have been subtitles. I don't know why there weren't subtitles for this film. Maybe it's distracting for some of you. I can't hear what they're saying. I need them. So they carry on yapping away over what I assume was important information in the film. I don't remember since I didn't get to see it. Everyone in the area where I'm seated is looking at these people. They're like looking over the shoulders, or they're looking around to see who's making all the noise. Everyone's getting a little bit irritated, but no one has spoken up at this point. Everyone, including me, is just trying to block these two women out and have a good time. Just focus on the movie, it's fine, they'll shut up eventually. Thing is, though, they really didn't want to. So the film goes into this kind of like dark scene. I don't know what was happening in the scene, but it's really dark, hard to see what's going on. I think the characters are in like a bunker. I'm kind of squinting to see what's going on, like it's the Batman. And then there's this flash, and I don't know what the hell's going on, but there's a bright flash, and then after it, there's another bright flash. Very, very confused. I'm looking around, and everyone is looking at those two women. They've taken out their phones and started just taking pictures with flash on of the cinema screen. I see it all the time. I see people having their phones ready for when the title card of the film comes up and they'll snap it really quick. Usually people are smart enough to turn off the flash. Some people, they might forget and it's a little bit embarrassing. What are you going to do? But that's fine. It's the title card. No one cares about the title card. It's just telling you what the movie is, the rating. It's not important. But we are deep into the film at this point. We've got the characters established, the location, what's happening in the plot. It's dark, it's hard to hear. And then these two ladies are making way too much noise and also now making it impossible to see what's going on with their goddamn camera flash. Like everyone around me, I just grit my teeth. I'm like, it's not worth it. Just take a deep breath, move on. Watch the movie. Thing is, though, it's really hard to pay attention to the film when you can't hear what anyone's saying over the two ladies cackling away right next to you. So this goes on for some time, and my blood is starting to boil more and more as the film goes on. And at one point, it was getting so annoying that I went to stand up and go speak to them. But my friend who I was with, they were like, nope, calm down, it's fine. Just watch the film. And like the good boy that I am, I sit down, I grit my teeth, and I just watch it. I'm like, it's fine, let it pass. Unfortunately, this big moment comes up in the movie. Now, I can't recall exactly what's happening, but it's on a kind of waterfront. Cillian Murphy's in this scene. And I think a bunch of people are like about to die. There's a big incident is about to occur, and I'm anticipating this thing, and just as it's about to happen, camera flash. But not just one camera flash, multiple camera flashes. A second camera flash has hit the cinema screen. And then the laughter again. Like they're taking some kind of joy out of ruining this for other people. They're getting entertainment from ruining our entertainment, which is very confusing. Why would you pay the admission to see a film that you don't want to watch and you then want to ruin for other people? Like, girlie, please, what were you thinking? I have no clue what happened in that scene, and it's a shame because it looked really cool from the blips that I can recall. So I missed this huge moment in the film. I have no idea what's going on. I've missed key story elements because I've just been so enraged, full of poisonous rage. My friend who I'm with is going through the same thing. The people around me are all feeling the same way. We're all infuriated by these two women, but no one has said anything yet. I think we're all just like, if we leave it alone, it'll stop. No. So the film cracks on. The noise doesn't stop. The flashing happens at random. We never know when it's going to come. We get to this scene. It's really dark. It's on a dock, I think. There's like torchlight, a cult, people being kidnapped. I couldn't tell you exactly what's happening, but it's something in that vein. So the scene is dark, tension's mounting, there's high stakes, something bad's going to happen, and then just as it does, whatever it was, camera flash. And then the laughter comes in again, and I couldn't take it for like the fifth time or whatever the hell it was. My friend tries to stop me, but I can't resist. And this is the only time that I can recall that I've ever shouted at someone in a movie theatre. So I look at the two women and I just shout, will you two shut the fuck up? We are trying to watch a film. Or something to that effect. They start cackling like witches around a cauldron. I think they were actually waiting for someone to react, but it wasn't just me. After I did that, other people started shouting at them to shut up. It was great. It was like we formed a union. No matter what anyone said, they wouldn't shut up. they wouldn't stop laughing, they wouldn't stop taking pictures of the screen, and then at one point they actually started watching videos out loud on their phones. So they'd be showing each other videos and then laughing about them. I don't think I've ever seen anyone be that disruptive. Like, some people, you know, if you go to see a film that's funny, they might laugh loudly, but that's part of the experience. You're supposed to have a reaction to a movie, but this was intentionally trying to piss people off and then taking joy in their reaction. I will say I was very tempted to accidentally fall over on the way out of the theater and like drop my drink all over them, but I was like, nope, big boy pants. Just be mature, just leave. These ladies were very clearly intoxicated. Like, they had bottles with them, and it's fine to drink in the cinema. Lots of theaters allow you to drink in there. But if you're gonna act like a child and be so disruptive, I don't think you should. And I also don't think you should be in the cinema to begin with. Like, if you can't follow the rules of the environment, don't be there. I would have the same problem if someone went to the cinema and started vaping. Like, it's gonna ruin the movie for people. Leave. If it was for any other film, I don't think I would have been as enraged. But it's A Quiet Place. It's in the title. That is the worst film you could choose to go into and disturb for other people. I don't know, maybe if it was like Schindler's List, that might be worse, but you get what I mean. So yeah, that's my cinema horror story for you. Maybe it's not as bad as yours. If you've got any crazy ones, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. But for me, it was pretty rough. It was rough enough that I remember it and it's imprinted on my brain to that degree. I remember more about seeing the film than what actually happened in the film. At some point, I should probably sit down and rewatch A Quiet Place Part 2 so I can actually see the film. I saw the third one in cinema. It was good. Didn't have crazy people ruining the movie for me. And it was great. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Catch you later.